updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Kandace and Nathisha.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawn.
Tobago on Tobago updates. Well, viewers, we are going to be joined by Assemblyman Nathisha Charles-Pantin for Bacalet Bagatelle, and we're going to be talking about two things that are happening within our space pretty soon. So, special good morning and welcome to you, Ms. Nathisha Charles-Pantin.
Kandace, good morning, Tobago.
Great to have you on with us. Now, first of all, tell me about this reading expression program that's going to be happening at the Botanical Gardens on Sunday, this Sunday.
Okay, so the Reading with Expression program, it actually started earlier in the year, I think about February thereabout. And the program is a constituency-based program where it involves bringing all the young children together and basically bringing out the creativity in them, right? So I have a background in story writing, in preparing toolkits for schools. So I decided to give of myself freely to my community so that the young children there, they can read, bring out the reading potential in them. During the COVID, a lot of children, they were exposed more to, virtual platforms. And, I wanted to bring them out for them to have an appreciation of their surroundings. This Sunday, we would bring in the wildlife group. They usually have set up a petting zoo. We're going to bring all different types of activities, fun activities for kids, interactive activities, so that, they can interact with nature and not necessarily look at the cell phone or the tablet all the time.
Tell me a little bit about what does this activity do, being able to read aloud and in a group. How does that help, in developing young children?
Well, first of all, we have heritage and, our local dialect. We want the children, not to talk like Peppa Pig alone, but we want them to speak the Tobago language. And that is what it is about. You have this speech band, right? I have one of my readers. I already preparing her for that type of activity. So we have a lot of creativity in children, and we need to inspire them to do what they love and what they have naturally.
Okay, great. And of course, this is happening on Sunday, May 28th. Do they have to register?
Well, the registration process took place earlier in the year, but I don't stop children and neighboring children from participating at all. Once you have the interest, you can come to the Botanical Gardens this Sunday, and you can be part of the Reading with Expression program. And of course, there will be other activities there that kids would love. The feature in the petting zoo as well. There's one child that said, my birthday is close to that date, so I'm going to have your birthday cake there. Yeah, so we're going to have some fun this Sunday with the children.
Certainly. And now we're moving on to another project that's happening within the space as it relates to your role as the Secretary of the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development. And that is the launch of the Shade House project. So what is this about?
Okay, so back when I was a forest management officer, we did a lot of research, and bamboo, it is an invasive species in Tobago. Yeah, Bambusa vulgaris. And the natural forest, when you look at the hillsides, especially as you pass Goldsboro going up into the northeast, you would see bamboo is going to be the major vegetation in the landscape. I'm not going to bad talk bamboo all outright, because it was introduced to prevent soil erosion. It was introduced for stabilization of the waterways. But of course, when you introduce some species into your landscape, then they turn into an invasive species. And what we decided to do, we decided to partner with FAO and the Development Bank of Latin America and come up with some, innovative projects where we can utilize these invasive species in order to increase sustainability in agriculture. So these shade houses, we often call them greenhouses, We're going to use them, implement irrigation systems for water conservation, and show our farmers and persons who are just have the general interest that bamboo is a low-cost option that can be used to create a nursery for plants and, general activities under agriculture. So this is one at Kendall. It's a demonstration for the farmers. It's going to be launched a couple of hours from now, and the farmers will have the opportunity to see what they can do with bamboo. And of course, we're trying to find options for them as well under the Division of Finance, so that they can get funding, grant funding, in order to build out shade houses for themselves.
And this has been done in partnership with the UN.
Yes, they are Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, and the funding is also coming from the Development Bank of Latin America.
So tell me a little bit more about that partnership and being able to make this happen and to present this option, this greenhouse option for our farmers.
All right. So when I got in office, I decided to treat agriculture as both a science and, business. So partnering with entities like these, they can bring the technical knowledge on the island. When you master the science, you get quality, sustainable practices, and the Latin America, the Development Bank of Latin America, and FAO. These are the goals
The Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah, the Sustainable Development Goals. And this is why they are here in Tobago, to assist us with these goals. And we appreciate all the help that we can get, because, agriculture is underfunded generally. So we have partnered with them, and we have built out several projects together. So we have the banana and sweet potato project up at Kendall, the Shade House project that will be launched today, and the integrated farming, other livestock farming. So we brought in the Cubans recently, and they would have done the embryonic fertilization of the animals. So we're trying to create hybrid animals to increase the quality of the breeding stock on the island. And then you will see that we're going to roll out several initiatives to encourage livestock farming in Tobago.
Now, are we going to have a monitoring of these projects and document and see how they're going to be working for us here in Tobago to ensure that, it isn't just a launch and it goes beyond just a launch?
Of course, our technical officers, they have been doing these things for years. As a matter of fact, I keep telling them that they are key to Tobago's success in agriculture, and everything is documented, especially when you're dealing with funding. Everything has to be documented, and we will get those documents that would prove to Tobagonians that these are low-cost options, and step by step how you can build out your entire holdings, utilizing low-cost options and achieving the same goals as if you're going to invest millions of dollars in all sort of, you can utilize your raw materials right here in Tobago and achieve the same goals.
So in other words, we could perhaps give, like Berry Cove a run for their money.
That's exactly what we're aiming for. Right? So Berry Cove would have invested millions of dollars.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. And I'm sure that, they calculated the return on the investment and how long it would take, right? But in terms of, just utilizing everyday material, bamboo, that we just take for granted, that's an invasive species across Tobago, we can utilize that material and achieve the same goals as Berry Cove.
So much, Secretary Charles-Pantin, for being on with us. Such a pleasure to have you on, and we're looking forward to see how these initiatives unfold in the future. All right, viewers, well, that's it for the program. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a safe and wonderful day, and we'll see you again on Monday. I am Kandace Jackson.
Tobago updates.